Hello and welcome to the Change Gang podcast with me, your host, Laura Ordile. I'm here to help you hold on to your sanity and your soul as you move through big change in your life. I'm here to guide you, inform you, and hopefully help you to triumph over trauma and the long list of symptoms that come along with it. This podcast series is to bring knowledge, share stories, and open up conversation around hope for those of you that suffer with the difficulties that present themselves in your life from diagnosed or undiagnosed trauma. Labeled or not, I know you need help, and so do those that have graciously taken the time to have these conversations with me. So let's get to it. Welcome to the Week Change Gang. We are going to talk a little bit today about PTSD, adrenal fatigue, and low testosterone. And some of the symptoms of some of those things kind of that come together and merge. So sometimes it gets mixed up. What is it that's causing the issue? Or is it a combination that's causing the issue? Some of the symptoms can be fatigue, depression, weight issues, muscle pain, blood pressure issues, anxiety, sleeping problems, and more. But those are some of the most common ones that come together, and sometimes people will get diagnosed with one thing or be treated for one thing when maybe it's something else that's kind of coming in. I wanted to come and talk about them kind of all together a little bit today. And oftentimes, if you've been diagnosed with PTSD, you're definitely suffering from anxiety, possibly mood swings, the fatigue, insomnia. But sometimes it could be that something else is exacerbating that, is making it worse, that these two other conditions can create exactly some of the same symptoms, the adrenal fatigue and low testosterone. And it may sometimes be impossible to know which of these is responsible for your symptoms, unless, of course, you've had all kinds of tests run and a very good doctor that's there with you to kind of run through them with you. But absolutely, it could be a combination of them as well. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how it all kind of comes together and how it works. The adrenal glands sit just above your kidneys, and they produce adrenaline and cortisol. And when you're stressed, these chemicals surge through the body. And then they get reabsorbed back into the adrenal glands, usually within about 3 minutes. However, if you've had a traumatic life with years and years of emotional trauma, being maybe in that fight, flight, freeze situation, especially in childhood, you may lack some of the enzymes needed to reabsorb that adrenaline and that cortisol that quickly, or at all. So the enzyme that's lacking can mean that not only are you likely to suffer anxiety, high anxiety, panic attacks, and hypervigilance, which definitely can go unchecked for hours, sometimes even longer. You're also likely, as a man, to be deficient in testosterone. And this is because testosterone is mostly produced in the adrenal glands. But if they're off being busy trying to keep up a steady flow of the new adrenaline and the cortisol that's being produced and flowing, because of your situation, the body cuts off testosterone production. It doesn't have the capacity to really do both. And if the body stops making testosterone for a few minutes or a few hours, that's fine. It's not a serious problem because your body's prioritizing what it needs to do most in that moment. But if you've worked or lived in that highly stressful environment day after day for months or years, your testosterone level may be critically low. And that is what might be contributing or even causing some of those symptoms that I mentioned, which can often be mistaken sometimes and diagnosed as PTSD. Again, sometimes it can be a combination of all of these things, but it's really important to kind of know, because if you're fixing one, you might still need to regulate or help with the other. I mean, if you're working on and clearing the PTSD, that doesn't mean automatically that your testosterone is going to just jump to where it needs to be. It might need a little bit of help for a little while. But men who have experienced these highly stressful environments for a prolonged length of time should really have their testosterone level checked and should be aware that there is a maximum and a minimum level, and that oftentimes, of course, at the younger age, like an 18-year-old boy, would have that maximum level, and maybe that 90-year-old man would be at the minimum. But where are you supposed to be? And if you test, what is the minimum level for you at, say, 45? If it's on the lower side, maybe that contributes. So some people say, well, it's in the normal range, but it's you look at it and it's kind of really on the lower side. Maybe that's the problem. And the doctor might not even say anything to you about it. So you need to know, what are the levels and where is my testosterone supposed to be? And one of the wonderful things is that, of course, I'm going to say it here, hypnosis helps all of the people with all of these issues. It helps sufferers whether they have the adrenal fatigue, the low testosterone, or the PTSD, or all of them. The very process of the protocol of hypnosis that I and so many others use is that the body will start making that missing enzyme that I mentioned a while back and be able to absorb the adrenaline and the cortisol. So panic attacks can stop. They don't go on for hours or days or however long. And yeah, somebody can have a panic attack for days. It's not good. It's not a good thing. Anxiety levels drop and fatigue goes away. The amazing part of hypnosis is that it can raise the testosterone levels by reducing stress. So the body can start making adequate levels of testosterone again, especially if carried out in tandem with particular diet or for maximizing that testosterone, eating in a way and maybe supplementing in a way that's going to help you boost that. And amazingly, doing those things, the hypnosis and doing some of the diet stuff, can end all the difficult symptoms, the fatigue, the weight issues, the muscle pain, the anxiety, the sleep issues. It's amazing. And in hypnosis, in the protocol that I'm talking about, in the hypnosis that I do, it often goes in and helps going in to clear some of the root causes for some of the emotions, the feelings, the things that have come up over the years that go way back, way back. And that's what I love about it. It's like magic to me. I love it. I say that so often because it is. It's beautiful and it's wonderful and it's like magic. The little sparkles all around. Because somebody feels good again. They feel good again and they feel strong and healthy. And that goes for women too. Women need a balance in the hormones. And oftentimes when you're in stress situation, causes all of those imbalances. So simply by bringing yourself out of that, a lot of those symptoms that you're struggling with can go away. That's why oftentimes weight issues go away when you clear the stress, when you go in and use hypnosis to help with these things. That's what I wanted to share today. I wanted to talk about that. And I wanted to encourage you, especially you men out there, to go and have your hormones levels checked. Have your testosterone level checked. And go investigate for yourself whether it really is in an okay level or if it's on the higher end or the lower end of where you should be at your age. There's a lot of information out there that you can go and look for. So do it. Be proactive in the things that are going to help you feel better every day, every single day. There you go, my friends. There you go. I hope you go off and you have a wonderful week ahead. And of course, I'm here if you want to chat about this. Please share it with anyone that you might think might be dealing with one of those things and not really understanding what's going on in their body and they just need some help or some advice. Sometimes that can be helpful to just share some of these things with them and say, hey, look into this, look into that. Do a little bit to help know what's going on with yourself. And reach out. Ask me any questions. You can set up a conversation with me. I'm happy to chat with you. And we can see if working together is something that would be wonderful for both of us. All right, guys. Ciao. Enjoy. I hope today's episode was interesting and helpful to you in some way. If so, find someone to share it with. Maybe it will help them too. If you'd like to know more about anything discussed here today, you can find all the places to connect with me and the guest speakers in the show notes. Or go to lauraordile.com, LauraOrdile.com, and you can reach out to me there. Until next time, ask when you need help, be kind to yourself, and have a happy day.